Good afternoon. It is 12 o'clock here and 1 o'clock somewhere else. Um, my name is Ronnie Russell, president of the Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce, and this is the second episode of Success Knows My Name. And I'm going to tell you where this came from. So I was watching social media because a lot of times I just scroll social media, look at the members and see how they're doing, see what they're doing as well. And I came across this post and I was like, oh wow, she's in Forbes and she's doing something that's beyond the city limits, just going all the way out there on a national level, on a national brand. But I've been watching Ms. Jackson just grow, I think for maybe 4 years now, about 4 years. Because I remember when she was starting her social media journey and was just trying to figure out like, how do I do this? What can I do to make this better? Because the one thing that I really love that I see that she does is she always wants to learn, and she's not afraid to learn, and she looks at how can she improve. And that's one of the great things that I love about just the energy that she has as an entrepreneur. And I had to pull her in, and I had to have her to be the second guest because I've seen her growth. And so from me to you, I would tell you that I appreciate your energy and tenacity as an entrepreneur, because a lot of times entrepreneurs don't get I don't want to call it praise, but they don't get the recognition that your efforts was not in vain. And to see your efforts go from Copper's Cove into Forbes, but just from where you first started on social media to where you are right now, from me to you, I would say keep going. And I thank you for not quitting, because a lot of people, in the military, we call it tactical pause. That's like the safe way of saying, I didn't quit, I just stopped for a little bit. But for me to you, just keep going, keep striving, because I'm sure there's someone who knows your journey. And that's kind of where we are right now with Success Knows My Name, because Success Knows My Name is about the journey. And because you have gone along with the journey, success knows your name for a reason. So let's tell the people who you are, and just get to know a little bit more about who Ms. Jackson is.
Okay. Well, I'm Catrina Jackson. And my journey with Pure Skin started with my daughter. Okay. So she had eczema. She had a few other health issues as well. But the one thing that I could help with was her eczema. And I was working for a company at the time. That company folded, and I was able to slide right into my own business. But with her eczema, I just did a lot of research because I had to keep busy, right? Right. I couldn't fix everything that was happening and going on, but what I could do was research and figure out how to make her more comfortable in her own skin. And so I formulated a body butter, and it healed her eczema. And I formulated it where the molecules are small enough to penetrate the rash. The rash falls off because the skin underneath is hydrated. That being said, people started noticing what I was doing and started asking if I could make some for them. They knew someone, something of that nature. And so it was a godsend, because I just fell right into my own business as I was let go of the business that had folded. That was 6.5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And I went from that one product to now over 55 products. I do wholesaling for bigger businesses. I do specially crafted products for individuals. So if they're allergic to cocoa butter or nuts or something like that, I can formulate it for them because I do everything by hand. So my journey started 6.5 years ago with just this one little mini me. Yeah. And I've now helped over 4,000 individuals nationwide. So I ship nationwide.
Right. So where did this love come from? Because to me, it sounded like a lot of biology and chemistry and stuff. Like, did you like chemistry coming up in school, or did you take chemistry?
It's funny you say that because my brother was like, you were always outside when we were kids. I had moved my kitchen outside. You get those little toy kitchen
Right.
sets, and I had moved it outside, and I was mixing mud and toothpaste and doing my own science experiments and figuring stuff out. He was like, you always did that, and I was like, I didn't even pay attention to that. But what I did know is that there should have been a natural way to heal her. There just
Yeah.
should have been. All these ointments and things that they were giving were things I couldn't pronounce. I wasn't sure what was going on her skin. It was making her dry and
Right.
chalky. And we're black. You can't
Yeah.
walk around looking chalky.
Yeah. You'd be looking ashy.
Yes, exactly. And then they're looking at me like, why aren't you taking care of your kid?
Yeah.
So that drive and that passion is just, I don't know how far anybody goes into this, but I'm an Aquarius, so I'm kind of like inquisitive anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
off the beaten path, like want to know things. And so I'm always researching and trying to figure out and develop things that'll make just people feel better. So it is
Right.
a love and a drive. Um, I always tell myself I'm gonna take my birthday off. I'm not gonna do anything, and that never happens because, you know, you always have during February.
Right.
You have that, so I'm always in there. So it's a love of learning.
Yeah.
Um, I feel to an extent that I have to do it because my ancestors weren't allowed to. So
Right.
maybe I overdo it, but
Yeah.
but I love
Well,
learning.
I wouldn't say you overdo it. You just do it because it's a gift. Having a natural calling is doing that thing that comes natural to you. But when you're giving a gift, it complements the calling, and that's kind of where you are with it, because the natural calling is the nurturing spirit that you have, but the gift of reasoning and the comprehension that you have just complements the natural calling. So that's that's how there are more people that you help. You're able to do that, and it's not like work to you now. It's like, well, let me do this science project and figure it out. Like, oh, that smells like juniper breeze. Now, okay, I'm gonna call this,
Right.
and that's just a great thing. So now, how did you do the Forbes thing? Like, how did that work?
So back in March, I attended a webinar with Buy From a Black Woman. I'm a part of
Okay.
their organization as well. And in that webinar, they were talking to Goldman and Sachs, and Goldman and Sachs is saying, we plan on helping, 1 million Black women by such and such a date. And we really want to take you into this cohort. They were just putting it out there like, Black women, come to us. We want to help you grow.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna fill out this application, but I'm not finna, I'm not finna get it.
Yeah.
So I filled it out, prayed on it, and in April, I got a response, and they said you passed to the second part of this application, which is a live interview.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna do this interview, but it's just that self-doubt thing, just not knowing if you're gonna get anything, or like,
Right.
why should it be me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is a common thread with Black women anyway. That's a whole nother part of the story. But so I did the second part of the interview, and they're kind of saying, you're really busy. So how are you going to fit this in? And I told them, I'm going to make it with or without y'all, but I'll make it there faster with you. I'm always educating myself.
Hold on. Y'all heard what she said, right? That's like, Jules, like, pay attention to that. Say that again for the people that wasn't paying attention what you said.
I told them I'm going to make it with or without y'all, but I'll make it there faster with you.
Yeah.
So they have all the knowledge. They have all of this, backing education behind them. It's Goldman and Sachs. We're talking about a pretty big company, a financial company, a company that invests into people. And so I was like, I'm going to make it regardless. Like, pretty much telling them, get on this train with me or regret it when I make it, that kind of a thing. And you have to kind of have that when it comes to business and what like how you feel about your stuff. So I know my stuff is good. I was like, get on this train with me. So later on in April, I got the acceptance letter. About lost it, right? I lost my mind because I'm like, I can't believe it. They flew me out to New York, where I was I had plans to see and everything. I didn't get to see anything but the Goldman and Sachs building, various, meeting rooms, in my hotel room for 3 days. So it's very, very extreme curriculum. It was thick. And then I went home for 8 weeks, and it was online every 4 days. It was 4 days out of the week
Mm.
on top of running your business and
Right.
raising your kids. And I homeschool my daughter. And so, on top of all of that stuff, um, doing the curriculum and getting the work done as far as how to scale and how to hire and how to get grants and how to, make yourself financially stable within your business.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I learned through that whole thing, Melissa Bradley, she taught us. She was our professor, and she's head of 1863. She's one of the founders of
Okay.
1863.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Who in here knows how to do everything in their business?" And I was like, "I know how to do everything in my business." And she was like, "Does anybody else?" And I was like, "No, I do it all myself." She was like, "That is not a business. That is you being held to something. You need to have an exit strategy when you're ready to leave." Um, and at that point, I was exhausted in my business. I love my business, but I often run myself down because I do everything.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that now. It's just a lot of jewels that I got from that. But in saying that, they flew us back out. I was one of 100, and I believe 74 Black
Oh,
women for
wow.
that cohort, and there was 2 additional ones after us, but we were the first ones.
Okay.
And so we graduated at the 10,000 Small Businesses Summit
Right. Right.
over there in Washington, D.C. That was amazing. Treated us well. It was, I mean, that's how I got into Forbes. I'll say that.
Yeah.
That's how that came about, is because Goldman and Sachs saw me as a Black woman entrepreneur and gave me what I needed to excel. If I don't excel at this point, it's because I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And with 6.5 years in this business, like I'm not gonna succeed.
Right. Right. And just to hear it, it's effort. When you begin the process of maximizing your effort, that means you put it all out on the line. And it's kind of like that saying that you said is it kind of parallels with the African proverb. And we can go further faster, but it's further faster together. And that's just a strong sense of pride that you have in your work. Like, I'm proud of my work, but I want you to be proud with me, or fall victim of like, man, I should have been with that. And that's just beautiful with that. So now, what are your like 3 keys of success for you that say success knows my name because of this, and that? Like, what are those 3 things that you would say why success knows your name?
Success knows my name because of my determination.
Hmm.
I cannot be stopped. I won't be stopped. I'm not going to allow it to stop me, because there's a lot of people out there that need help or want natural skincare, because it's not just for people who have, ailments or eczema or psoriasis or things like that. It's gentle for everybody. But a lot of times people don't know that something natural is out there.
Yeah.
So I'm determined to make sure that my brand is known. Like, it will eventually be worldwide, because we're getting there. But the determination I have is that you're going to know us. We're just going to be a household name, which is regardless. I'm just going to do it. The second reason why success knows my name is because of the connection that I have with individuals. My customers now, they have my phone number. They can say, this is happening, this is going on. What should I use? What should I get? Can you make this? Can you do that? It's having that connection, which a lot of us lost during COVID, just having to be separated.
Yeah.
The third reason why success knows my name, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I would say it doesn't have the option to not. It just doesn't. I've already said I'm not going to let it not know my name. But I want to be a role model to our community, and especially the little Black girls who want to be an entrepreneur as well, and be seen and be heard and change the world in a small way or a big way. So that's why success knows my name. It doesn't have the option to not.
Yeah. And I love that, because I say it all the time. Sometimes you have to take the option away, because when we put the option on the table, then it's like, I have the option to quit.
Mm-hmm.
I have the option to not make it. But when you take the option off the table, I'm going to make it either with you in a room with me, or I'm going to leave you outside the room and I'm going to make a new room. Because something that I began to look at and examine a lot of times, especially in our communities, we always say that, well, I ain't gonna say always, that's a big word. A lot of times we say, oh, we gotta build our own table. We gotta pull up. Like, I think when we begin to take and reshape our mind and convert it into, we have to construct the room, because I'm not confined to a table. When you are confined to a table, then you're only going to receive what's on the table. And a lot of times, the table that we so-called pull up to, we don't own the room. So where are you putting this table if you don't own the room? You're walking around with this backpack full of chairs waiting for somebody to allow you to pull your chair up and sit at their table. But when we look at success as a room, then we can construct the successes in the room by teaching what success is and how success knows your name. And now the room is now constructed with those individuals of like mind and interest on why and what success is for them. Because success for me is going to be different than what success is for you. But learning and hearing about your success, it makes it easier for me to say, hey, I need to introduce you to Miss Jackson, because now that's another body in the room that's talking about success and how you actually got to that point. I think when we as a people look more into how do we construct our rooms and who need to be in the room and who's in the room that shouldn't be in the room, the energy is going to flow different. The transfer of information is going to be different, because we're transferring information that has experience attached to it, not pulling up to tables when we don't even own the room, because now the table is outside in the open and you getting rained on by everybody else's failures and crying and hurt and pain. Construct the room so we can be a shelter for those who need to have the gifts that's been circulating in that room. That's my little plug. But I think that success knows your name because you've spoken into existence. A lot of times we don't speak success into existence. We speak our pain, we speak our failures, we speak our ailments, we speak about our why, but we don't make it a component of our success, because your why is your purpose. Your why is the push that gets you to the destination. That's why you said your determination, because I say it all the time, on the other end of my determination is my destiny. And when I get through my determination, the destiny is already mine, because I talked about it. I said it. I see it. I want it. I obtain it. I assume it. And then now success knows my name, because everything that's behind me is there for a reason. Mm-hmm. And everything that's in front of me, I'm going to go get it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where my option left was when I got laid off, and I had this special needs little girl that I had to take care of by myself. You know, that's where that option left. I was like, okay, well, if mama's got to work to, or something, quote unquote, to death, then that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And as we speak now, we're in the process of her launching her business, because I feel that there's a lot that happens when you work for someone else. I say it all the time, I used to do 16-hour days for somebody else. It hits different when you do it for yourself.
Yeah.
It hits a lot, and you have to be that role model for not just your kids, not just the people that are, in your circle, but there's other people watching you all the time. Yeah. And there's some people who are watching you to see how fast you go up. And there's some people to see if you trip. But for all of them, they can keep watching, because it's going to be a success story.
Yeah.
There's no option. Yeah. I need to show this little girl that when I leave, this is how you succeed. This is how you conduct yourself to the world. This is what happens when you face adversity. These are the things that you need to do, because I won't be here to do it for her. So that's important to me. Failure's not an option. It's just not.
It's not an option.
Not an option.
right. So tell the people how they can find you or follow you. And you said you got a little something for the listeners. Tell us about that.
Yes. So, how to find me? You can go to pureskinrepair.com. That's my website. You can find me at pureskinrepair.one, and that's on Instagram and Facebook. And we always have like little fun things going on over there. We're about to do a dope soap challenge where you challenge me to do a soap, and whoever gets randomly selected, I give them the bar. The rest go out for sale. That's always fun to do. You can find me on TikTok. I need to be more active on TikTok, but I'm getting there. And for all the listeners today, if you use IBCC5 at pureskinrepair.com, it'll give you $5 off of your order of $30 or more. And that'll be until 11:59 on Friday, February 1st.
Okay.
No, Wednesday, Tuesday, February 1st, 11:59.
Yeah.
And they can take $5 off of their order. I do local delivery here in Coppers Cove, Killeen, Harker Heights area. I ship nationwide. So you let me know how I can serve you. That's what it is.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely appreciate the listeners and those that have been viewing. This is what it's about. Being innovative in our approach, and especially how we construct the room. So if y'all hear somebody say that, you'll know where I got it from of constructing the room. But yeah, this I love these types of interviews because I want to learn more about the person. The product is good, but the product is just a byproduct of who you are. It's an extension of your gift. And it shows through the manifestation of a tangible product. That's all it is. It's thought made into reality. What you think, you create. And what you create is based off of what you've already had in you. Yeah. So again, I definitely thank everybody that's been here at the Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce, Success Knows My Name podcast. If you want to learn more about Ms. Jackson, make sure you reach out to her platforms, as she said. As well as if you want to hear this podcast, it's going to be uploaded today on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, as well as Apple Podcasts. The only thing you have to do is to search Success Knows My Name, and you will see the image that will be up there. The first podcast you'll see was with Miss Tony Ringold at Space Create. And if you're interested with being on the podcast, yes, you have to be a member. And then we'll put you on here as every Thursday at 12 noon. So don't say, can you do it at 1? The answer is no. 12 o'clock on Thursday. But again, for everybody that's been here, been a part of it, thank you for being here, being in this space. Ms. Jackson, appreciate you from driving. It's not like it's a long drive from Cove, but when you in Cove, you say, man, I got to go to Killeen today. It feels like you're driving 30 minutes away. It's like one of those country things. Oh, I'm going just down the street. Like, yeah. 20 minutes later, you still driving. But I definitely appreciate everybody that's listening. And thank you from me to you. Y'all be blessed. Bye.